Welcome to Rich News on the Daily News Buzz. If you're here for the real story, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe and let's dive in. On April 4th, 1968, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. Evidence from the 1999 civil trial, King Family v. Jowers, revealed it was an organized effort involving government officials and military personnel. Dr. King, at 39, led the Poor People's Campaign for Economic Justice. He sought reparations for African Americans and spoke against the Vietnam War. His vision for unity and stance against racism made him a target for those threatened by his powerful voice. On the day of his assassination, Dr. King was under relentless surveillance by government agents. Positioned directly across from the Lorraine Motel, operatives tracked his every movement. Reverend Samuel Billy Kiles, a close associate of Dr. King, stood beside him on the balcony. As he later unknowingly confessed on videotape, Kiles intentionally delayed Dr. King at that spot, providing the shooter with a clear shot. Merrill McCullough, an undercover Memphis police officer who later joined the CIA, was also present at the scene. His duties extended beyond surveillance. McCullough's role was to manage witnesses' reactions immediately after the shooting, alongside Reverend Jesse Jackson and others, deliberately steering them away from the true source of the gunfire. McCullough's undercover role was so deep that his paycheck came not from the Memphis Police Department, but from a local utility company. Evidence of high-level efforts to obscure his ties to government intelligence. Directly across from the Lorraine Motel was Fire Station Number 2, where Captain Carthel Whedon later testified that he led 2 Army intelligence officers to the station's rooftop on the morning of the assassination. Positioned on the roof, these military personnel had a direct line of sight to Dr. King's balcony. Their presence was not incidental. This was a coordinated setup, part of a calculated effort by government and military forces to ensure Dr. King was left exposed, closely monitored, and without escape. In 1999, Dr. King's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Loyd Jowers, a Memphis businessman who had publicly confessed to his involvement in Dr. King's assassination on national television in 1993. Jowers admitted that he had been paid $100,000 by Frank Liberto, a prominent mob figure, to help orchestrate the assassination, collaborating with local law enforcement to ensure the plan succeeded. The trial, based on testimony from over 70 witnesses, provided undeniable evidence of a conspiracy involving government agencies, local police and organized crime. The jury ruled in favor of the King family, officially confirming that Dr. King's death was the result of a coordinated conspiracy. This verdict shattered the long-standing myth that Dr. King's assassination was the act of a lone gunman and laid bare the ugly truth. Dr. King was systematically targeted and silenced by powerful entities. Earl Clark, the shooter. Earl Clark, a Memphis police officer, was identified in multiple testimonies as the man who fired the fatal shot. Witnesses recounted how, immediately after firing, Clark handed the rifle to Jowers, who dismantled it. Clark then fled the scene, escaping by jumping over a concrete barrier and entering a police cruiser, a sequence witnessed by a taxi driver. Clark's involvement, corroborated by multiple accounts, reveals that those sworn to uphold the law were at the very heart of this brutal assassination. James Earl Ray's role and coerced guilty plea. Initially convicted for Dr. King's murder, James Earl Ray maintained his innocence to his death, insisting that he was manipulated as part of a larger plot. Ray's guilty plea was coerced through the threat of the death penalty and the killing of his family, closing the case quickly and halting any further investigation. His attorney, Percy Foreman, pressured Ray into the plea, using financial incentives as leverage. In a letter written the day before Ray's sentencing, Attorney Foreman offered Ray $500 for his brother, Jerry, to plead guilty without unseemly conduct in the courtroom, ensuring the official narrative remained unchallenged. Interlude. You're watching Rich News on the Daily News Buzz. If you want the truth, smash that subscribe button and stay with us for more. Continued targeting of the King family. The King family's suffering did not end with Dr. King's death. In 1969, A.D. King, Dr. King's brother and a passionate civil rights leader, was found dead in his swimming pool under suspicious circumstances. A.D.'s widow and family firmly says he was murdered to eliminate his voice in the movement. In 1974, Dr. King's mother, Alberta Williams King, was shot and killed while playing the organ at Ebenezer Baptist Church. The shooter, Marcus Wayne Cheneau, claimed he targeted black Christian leaders, though many accounts suggest his real target was Coretta Scott King, Dr. King's widow. Alberta's murder was yet another brutal blow to the King family, underscoring the relentless violence inflicted on those who carried on Dr. King's legacy. FBI agent Donald Wilson's discovery. Donald Wilson, an FBI agent, uncovered damning evidence that linked Dr. King's assassination to a wider network. Wilson discovered the Mustang that was driven by James Earl Ray, containing notes with phone numbers connecting directly to Jack Ruby's nightclub in Dallas. Ruby, the man who killed Lee Harvey Oswald, the alleged assassin of President John F. Kennedy, was connected to organized crime. Wilson, fearing for his life, chose not to report this discovery, aware that revealing this information could expose him to serious danger and confirm a network extending to the highest levels of power. In 1993, Loyd Jowers confessed to his role in Dr. King's assassination on Primetime Live. He admitted he had been paid by Frank Liberto to assist in coordinating Dr. King's assassination, working closely with local law enforcement and organized crime to ensure the plan was successful. His confession provided a vital link between those who orchestrated the assassination and those who executed it, adding another layer of evidence to the King family's fight for justice. For decades, the King family fought to expose the truth behind Dr. King's assassination, refusing to accept the narrative of a lone gunman. The 1999 civil trial, with its extensive evidence and testimonies, established that Dr. King's death was part of a coordinated conspiracy involving multiple powerful forces that felt threatened by his message. The family's determination secured a verdict that validated their suspicions and documented in a court of law that Dr. King's murder was the outcome of a larger, systematic effort to silence him. The truths revealed about Dr. King's assassination highlight the extraordinary lengths to which government forces went to prevent his call for justice, peace, and equality from reaching the world. The King family's courageous fight ensured that Dr. King's legacy remains intact and that his voice, though tragically silenced, continues to resonate across generations. Dr. King's life, work, and the painful truths surrounding his assassination are a powerful testament to the ongoing struggle for justice, a call to confront systemic oppression, and a reminder of the power of truth in the face of unimaginable adversity. The story of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination is one of brutal injustice. Still, it is also a testament to resilience and a family's relentless dedication to honoring the truth. Dr. King's vision lives on, inspiring movements for equality and justice, and stands as a beacon of hope for all who continue the fight for a world where every person can live with dignity and freedom. Thanks for tuning in with rich news on the Daily News Buzz. For more truth and bold stories, hit subscribe and let's uncover the truth together.